Each of the three blocks in figure has mass of 10 kg. If the coefficient of static and kinetic friction at each surface of contact are 0.3 and mu k is 0.2. Determine the acceleration of each block when the three horizontal forces are applied on block A, B and C as shown. So this block A is of 10 kg, this block B is of 10 kg, this block C is of 10 kg. These are the masses of the three blocks. Now first, this is the free body diagram of this block A, B and C. Now the friction coefficient, the friction force on the first block will act in forward direction, and this force is 80 Newton. Now the weight of this block is 10 kg, which will act in downward direction. The normal reaction here is N1. In the same way, the free body diagram, the friction force on block B will act in backward direction. This force is 100 Newton. The friction force here, let it be F2, which will act in backward direction. Here the normal reaction is N1. Here the weight is again 100 Newton. The normal reaction here is N2. Here the normal reaction is N2. Here it is N3. The force acting here is 15 Newton. The force which applied here is 15 Newton. So this is 15 Newton. The friction force on block C, F2 is in forward direction, whereas F3 is in backward direction. The weight of this third block is also 100 Newton. Now we know the maximum friction force F1 max is 0.3 because the coefficient of static friction is 0.3 into N1. N1 here is, we know N1 here is 100 Newton. In the same way, N2 is equal to N1 plus 100. From here we can say N2 is equal to N1 plus 100. So it is equal to 200. It is 200 Newton. In the same way, the normal reaction here N3 is N2 plus 100. So it is 300 Newton. So this is about N1, N2 and N3. Now as we know N1 is 100 Newton, we can say F1 max is 0.3 times N1. So it is 30 Newton. The maximum value of F2 is 0.3 times this N1, that is equal to 200 Newton. It is 60. In the same way, the friction force 3 maximum is 0.3 times the normal reaction. Here N3 is 300. So it comes out to be 90 Newton. So the maximum value of F1 is 30 Newton. The maximum value of F2 is 60 Newton. The maximum value of F3 under static condition is 90 Newton. If we want to calculate the acceleration of these three blocks, then we can say this, we will start from F3 here. The maximum value of friction force 3 is 90 Newton, whereas the maximum value of friction force 2 is 60 Newton. C block, on this block C, the maximum value of friction force 3 possible is 90 Newton. The sliding tendency of this C block is in forward direction. Since the maximum value of friction force 2 is 60 Newton, so this block C will remain stationary. So C block, the acceleration of block C is 0 because the pulling force is less than the limiting value of this frictional force. So C block will remain stationary. We will talk about this block A and block B. Now the friction force F2 here is 60 Newton. So this block B will slide. Now we don't know whether this block A and B are sliding together or not. So we'll start it like this, assuming, let's assume A and B are moving together. If A and B are moving together, then in that situation the friction force 2 is kinetic, and this is equal to 0.2 times This is 200 Newton. So it is equal to 40 Newton. In kinetic situation, the friction force between B and C is 40 Newton. So we will write, if the acceleration of this block A and B is same, then we can say the friction one is static. So I will assume the static friction F1 as F1. So we can say F1 minus 18 is equal to mass means 10 into A, because we don't know the value of F1. The maximum value of F1 is 30 Newton. Now if there is no sliding, we'll assume the A and B, the static friction is acting between these two. This is our first equation. If B, A and B are moving together, in the same way 100 minus F1 minus F2. What is F2? F2 is kinetic, and that is equal to 40. That is equal to 10 into A. This is our second equation. Now if we add these two, we get 100 minus 40 minus 18 is equal to 20. So A comes out to be 100 minus 40, 60. 60 minus 18 is 42 divided by 20. That is equal to 2.1 meter per second square. So if A and B are moving together in this situation, the acceleration of A and B is 2.1 and F1. We have to calculate F1. So friction needed is 18 plus 10 into 2.1. So it is equal to 39 Newton. So if this block A and B are moving together, so the static friction force needed between them is 39 Newton. But we know the maximum value of friction possible between A and B is 30 Newton, means there is sliding between block A and B. So F1 is also kinetic and F2 is also kinetic. So we can say, now I will draw the free body diagram of this block A. So I will write this F1 and this is 18. So F1 is kinetic and that is equal to, this is also kinetic. So we can say this is equal to 0.2 times N1. N1 is 100. So it is equal to 20 Newton. Now we know there is sliding between A, B and C. So the acceleration of block A is 20 minus 18 divided by 10. That is equal to 0.2 meter per second square. In the same way, if we draw the free body diagram of this block B, the friction here is 20, this is F1. In the same way, the friction here is also kinetic, that is 40 Newton, and this force is 100. So we can say 100 minus 40 minus 20 is 10 into acceleration of B. So acceleration of B is 40 by 10, that is equal to 4 meter per second square. So this is the acceleration of block B and this is the acceleration of block A, and the acceleration of these three block is different. Acceleration of A is 0.2 meter per second square, acceleration of B is 4 and acceleration of C is 0. Now block B rest on a smooth surface. If the coefficient of friction between A and B is 0.5, here the coefficient of friction is 0.5. Now we have to calculate the acceleration of A and B if the applied force is 30 Newton and 45 Newton. Now in this question we don't know whether A and B will move together or there is sliding between A and B. So in this situation we will calculate the value of F0 for which the maximum value of F for which this A and B moves together. So let the maximum value of force F0 be applied here such that these two block A and B can move together. So here the friction is F1, here the friction is F1. The weight of this block is 5 kg and 10 kg respectively. So it is N1 and this is N2. So we can say N1 is equal to 50 Newton, and the first equation is F0 minus F1 is equal to 5 into A, and for second block we can say F1 is equal to 10A. So from here we can say F0 minus F is equal to 5 and A means F1 by 10. So we can say F naught is equal to 3 F1 by 2. Now we know the value of, so F naught maximum is 3 by 2 into F naught maximum, and we know F1 maximum is 0.5 times N1. N1 means 50. So it is equal to 75 by 2. 75 divided by 2 is 37.5. So this is equal to 37.5 Newton. Means the maximum force which we can exert is 37.5 Newton. Up to 37.5 Newton, the acceleration of A and B is same. But if F naught is more than 37 Newton, the acceleration of A and B is different. So here the first situation, so this F, in first case F 30 Newton is less than F naught. So it means in first part A and B have same acceleration. So A and B will move together in first part because F is less than F naught. So we can say the acceleration of A is equal to acceleration of B, and that is equal to 30 by total mass, that is equal to 15. So this is equal to 2 meter per second square in case A and B are moving together. But in B, here F is greater than F naught. We know F naught is 37.5 Newton. So F is more than F naught means A and B will have different acceleration. Now let the acceleration, we will solve it like this. We will draw the free body diagram of this block A. The force here is 45 Newton and the friction here is, we know this, there is sliding. So this friction is mu times normal reaction. So it is 5.5 into 50, that is 25 Newton. So we can say acceleration of A here is 45 minus 25 divided by mass, that is 5, that is equal to 4 meter per second square. In the same way for block B, this is block B, the friction force is acting in forward direction and there is no friction between the B and ground. So we can say F1 is equal to 25, that is equal to 10 into acceleration of B. So from here we get acceleration of B is 2.5 meter per second square. This is acceleration of B and this is acceleration of block A. So these are the answer. Now if the ground is rough having coefficient of friction as 0.2, here the coefficient of friction is 0.5. If the applied force is 45 Newton, then we have to calculate what is acceleration or what is acceleration of B. So we'll solve it like this. Let this is block A. The force here is 45 Newton. This is 45 Newton. The friction here is F1, and on block B the friction here will act in F1 and this friction is in backward direction, that is F2. Now we can say the maximum value of F1 is equal to 0.5 times normal reaction means 50 is 25 Newton, whereas F2, the maximum value of F2 is 0.2 times N2, and we know the normal reaction here is 5 plus 10, that is 0.2 into 15 into 10. So this is equal to 30 Newton. So we know this force, the maximum value of F2 is 30 Newton, whereas the pulling force on block B is only 25 Newton. So this block B will remain stationary because here the friction maximum possible is 30 Newton, whereas this friction is only 25 Newton. So this block B has a tendency to move forward. So but the pulling force is only 25 Newton. So this force will be 25 Newton, it is not 30 Newton, and the acceleration of block B is 0. Block B will never slide. Now acceleration of block A can be written as this 45 minus 25, it is 45, minus this fraction is 25, it is 25, divided by mass, that is 5, it is 4 meter per second square. So the acceleration of block A is 4 meter per second square. Figure shows a small block of mass m. This is, let this block be 1, let this plank be of 2. The length of this plank is L, the mass of this plank is capital M. The system can slide on horizontal road. The system is started towards right with initial speed v. Let the speed of these two be v. The friction coefficient between the road and the bigger block, here the coefficient of friction is mu, and between these two block is mu by 2. Find the time before the smaller block separate from the bigger block. So we'll draw the free body diagram of this smaller block. We know this smaller block will experience a force, friction force, in backward direction. Let this be F1, and the normal reaction here is N1. The weight of this block is mg. So we can say N1 is equal to mg, and F1 is equal to mu times, it is mu by 2 times mg. In the same way, for bigger block, we can say the weight of the bigger block is acting downward. The normal reaction here is N2. The normal reaction here is N1. The friction on this bigger block is F1. It is in forward direction, and on this ground it is F2. Now we can say N2 must be equal to N1 plus capital M into G, that is equal to small m plus capital M into G. This is N2, and F2 is equal to, we also know F2 is equal to mu times N2. We will draw the free body diagram. As we have drawn the free body diagram, now we can say let this be our x axis and this be our y axis. Now for block small m, we can say the friction is acting backward. So we can say mass into acceleration of block 1 with respect to ground is equal to minus mu by 2 times m into g I cap. Let this be x axis. So from here we can say the acceleration of block 1 with respect to ground is minus mu by 2 into g I cap. Now in the same way, if we draw the free body diagram of this plank, so we can say on this plank the friction force 1 is acting in forward direction, F2 is acting in backward direction. So we can say mass into acceleration of plank 2 with respect to ground is equal to F1 minus F2, that is equal to F1 means mu by 2 small mg I cap minus mu times m plus capital M into g I cap. So from here we get acceleration of block 2 with respect to ground is mu m by cap 2 times capital M into g minus mu small m plus capital M divided by capital M into g I cap. So this is the acceleration of block 2 with respect to ground. Now we can say the acceleration of block 1 with respect to 2 as acceleration of block 1 with respect to ground minus acceleration of block 2 with respect to ground. We know acceleration of 1 with respect to ground, we know the acceleration of 2 with respect to ground. So I can say the acceleration of 1 with respect to 2 is minus mu g by 2 I cap minus mu small m G by 2 capital M I cap plus mu small m plus capital M by capital M into G I cap. So acceleration, if we solve it, acceleration of 1 with respect to 2 comes out to be, it is equal to mu times m plus capital M by 2 capital M into G. This is I cap. So acceleration of block 1 with respect to H2 is this one, and it is constant. So we can say displacement is equal to ut plus half a into t square. So displacement of 1 with respect to 2 is u of 1 with respect to 2 plus into t plus 1 by 2 acceleration of 1 with respect to 2 into t square. So displacement, this is L I cap, which is equal to u of 1 with respect to 2 is 0 because they are moving with the same speed initially. So plus 1 by 2 acceleration of 1 with respect to 2 is mu times m plus capital M into G by 2 capital M I cap, or into this into t square. So from here we can say t is equal to root over 4 capital M into L divided by mu times m plus capital M into G. This is the answer. This is the time when the two blocks will separate. A system of mass m as shown in this figure with coefficient of friction indicated. Calculate the maximum value of F for which there is no slipping anywhere. Now we know the friction coefficient. Let the friction here is F1. Let here it is F1. It is F2, and let this be F2, this be F3. We know the maximum value of F1 is 0.1 times 0.1 into N1, and we know N1 is equal to 20 into 10. So this is equal to 20 Newton. The maximum value of F2 is 0.2 times N2, that is equal to 0.2 times, this is 30 plus 20 means 50 into 10, that is equal to 100 Newton. In the same way, the maximum value of F3 is 0.1 times N3, and we know N3 is the weight of all this, that is equal to 0.1 into 90 into 10, that is equal to 90 Newton. So the maximum friction force between A and B is 20 Newton, between B and C it is 100 Newton, between C and ground is 90 Newton. Now the maximum value of F for which there is no sliding is obviously only this first A will slide, because the friction force between A and B is minimum, that is 20 Newton. To move this block B we need minimum 100 Newton of force. To move this block C we need at least 90 Newton friction force between this C and ground. So the minimum force needed to move this block A is 20 Newton, or the maximum force which we can exert as there is no sliding is also 20 Newton. So the answer is 20 Newton. The minimum value of F for which B and C slide, if we are pulling this block A, so the maximum friction force between A and B is only 20 Newton. But this B and C, to move this block B and C we need 100 Newton of force. So it is not possible to move this block B or block C by pulling this block A. So when you are pulling block A, there is no sliding between block B or C. B or C will never slide. The minimum value of F for which A slips on B. So minimum value of A to move this block, minimum value of F to move this block A is also 20 Newton. So on 20 Newton this will either remain stationary or it will just starts its motion. So these are the answer. Now a block of mass m lies on a triangular wedge of mass capital M as shown. This angle is theta. With what minimum acceleration must the wedge be moved toward right horizontally so that block of mass m falls freely? So when this wedge is moving with some speed, the block is falling like this. Let this block falls a distance y, then in that case the wedge has to move a distance x. Means we can say the wedge is here when the block is at this distance. This is the position of the wedge after some time. So this block is falling vertically, so this is y. So distance moved by this wedge is x. So we can say by this triangle, we can say y is equal to x into tan theta. Now differentiation of this is acceleration of small m must be equal to acceleration of capital M into tan theta, because theta here is constant. Now the acceleration of this small m is g because it is in free fall. So acceleration of small m is equal to g in free fall. So we can say acceleration of capital M is am by tan theta, that is equal to g by tan theta or g cot theta. This is the answer. Now in second case, find the minimum friction coefficient required between wedge capital M and ground. We need what is the minimum value of coefficient of friction here so that the wedge remains stationary and there is no friction between this block and the triangular wedge. So in this case, we know the normal reaction acting on this block is here n. So we'll draw the free body diagram of this block. This is the normal reaction. This angle is theta. So we can say this angle is theta. So this is also theta. So horizontal component, this acceleration of this wedge is a, that is equal to g sin theta, whereas normal reaction is mg cos theta, because this triangular wedge is stationary. So on this triangular wedge, draw the free body diagram of this triangular wedge. This is the normal reaction. So we will write the horizontal component of normal reaction is n sin theta. This is n sin theta, and the vertical component of normal reaction is n cos theta. The other force is the weight capital Mg. The other is the normal reaction here N2, the friction coefficient friction F2. Now since this triangular wedge is also under equilibrium, so we can say F2 is equal to mu times N2, and this is also equal to n sin theta because it is stationary. This triangular wedge is stationary, so horizontal force will balance the horizontal force. So F2 is equal to n sin theta, and we will write N2, that is equal to n cos theta plus capital M into G. So from here we can say mu is equal to n sin theta divided by N2 from here. Now I can write mu is equal to n sin theta, means n means it is mg sin theta into cos theta divided by n2 means n cos theta. N cos theta means mg cos square theta plus capital M into G. So this G will cancel out. We get this as m sin theta into cos theta divided by capital M plus small m cos square theta. This is the minimum coefficient of friction needed such that this wedge will remain stationary. So this is the answer. A small block of mass small m slide down an inclined plane of an inclination alpha. This angle is alpha. The coefficient of friction kinetic depends on distance covered. This is fixed. Here this distance is x and it is given mu is equal to k into x. This is kinetic, the distance covered by the block. Find the distance traveled by the block when it stops. Now we know when this block is falling in this direction, so the force is mg sin theta, and the friction here is, it is mu times normal reaction. So we can say the normal reaction is also equal to mg cos theta. Here the normal will act in this direction, mg is acting like this, so the component of this mg is mg sin theta and this component is mg cos theta. So normal reaction is mg cos theta. Now we can say mass into acceleration of this block, let this block is moving in this direction, is equal to mg sin theta minus mu mg cos theta. So m will cancel out, we get a is equal to g sin theta minus mu means it is kx, so it is kx into g cos theta. Now a acceleration can be written as v dv by dx. This is also equal to dv by dt. So from here we can write this as g sin theta minus k into g cos theta into x. So vdv, we get vdv that is equal to g sin theta into x dx minus kg cos theta into x into dx. So on integration we get v square by 2 is equal to g sin theta into x minus kg cos theta into x square by 2. So this is our expression, because we know the initial velocity is 0. Now we have to calculate, find the distance covered by the block. So distance covered comes out to be, first part is when block stops v becomes 0. So if I put v here 0, we get x as, then x comes out to be 2g, it is 2g sin theta, it is 2g sin theta by kg cos theta. So x comes out to be 2 sin theta divided by k cos theta. This is the answer. This is the maximum value of x traveled by the particle. Now what is the maximum speed acquired by the particle? For maximum speed, for Vmax, we know the speed is maximum when dv by dx is 0. Now dv by dx is 0, dv by dx is 0 means this is our dv by dx, I will take it 0. So if I substitute dv by dx 0, we get x is equal to sin theta by k cos theta. If I substitute dv by dx 0, we get x as sin theta by k cos theta. Now if I substitute the value of v, we know v square is equal to 2g sin theta minus kg cos theta into x square, kg cos theta into x square. Now if Vmax, it is equal to root over 2g sin theta, and I will substitute the value of x here, it is x1. When the speed is maximum, then at that instant x1 is sin theta by k cos theta. So I will substitute here x1 minus kg cos theta into x1 square. Substitute the value of x1 here, then you will get Vmax that is equal to root over g sin square alpha divided by k cos alpha. This is the answer. Two block A and B of mass 10 kg and 20 kg. This mass is 10 kg and this mass is 20 kg. are placed as shown. The coefficient of friction mu here is 0.2. Here mu is 0.2. Here it is also 0.2. Find the tension in the string and acceleration of block. To calculate the tension, we know this is the string. This angle is 30 degree. This is the weight, that is 10 and 20. It is 10 kg. It is 100 Newton. The normal reaction is N1. Here the normal reaction is also N1. This is N2. Since this block is going downward, so the friction here is F1. Here the friction is F1. Here the friction is upward, that is also F2. The weight here is downward, that is equal to 200 Newton. This is our block A, this is block B. Now we can say the vertical component of this tension is T sin 30 and the horizontal component of this tension is T cos 30. Since this block A is under horizontal equilibrium, so we can say N1 must be equal to T cos 30 degree, first equation, and T sin 30 degree must be equal to F1 plus 100. This is our second equation, and F1 is equal to mu times, mu means 0.2 times N1. This is our third equation. Now from first, second and third we can say T sin 30 means 1 by 2 must be equal to F1 means 0.2 times N1 means T cos 30. So it is T root 3 by 2 plus 100 from here. Now we can say this T into 1 minus 0.2 root 3, that is equal to 200, or T is equal to 200 divided by 1 minus 0.2 into root 3. So this comes out to be, that is equal to 306. So it is 306 Newton. This is the tension in the string. Now we know, if we know tension, we can say N1 is equal to T sin T cos 30 degree. Now for block B we can say N1 must be equal to N2, means F1 must be equal to F2 because mu1 is equal to mu2. Now we write the total vertical force means 200 minus F1 minus F2 is equal to 20 into acceleration of B. So we can say 200 minus F1 means 2 times 0.2 times N1. N1 is T cos 30. So it is T means 300 cos 30 306 root 3 by 2. That is equal to 20 into acceleration of B. So this 2 will cancel out. We get this as 200 minus 0.2 into 306 into root 3 divided by 20, that is acceleration of B. So from here we can say it is 200 minus 0.2 into 306 into root 3 is equal to this divided by 20, that is equal to 4.7. So acceleration of B is approximately 4.7 meter per second square. This is the acceleration of B.